I'm Jay Yelas, and I've been a professional bass fisherman for 25 years now. You know, I've been able to make my living doing something I love to do, and I'm just really thankful to be able to fish for a living. I remember once when I was 5 years old. 5 years old now, and I remember my grandfather took me out in a charter boat out in the Pacific Ocean. The boat only caught 2 salmon, but I got one of them. That's kind of where I got started, was with my grandfathers and my dad. And then as I got older, in high school, I found out about tournament fishing, and that's when I really caught the bug, or the vision to want to be a tournament pro, make a living fishing. I learned my bass fishing from a wonderful friend of mine. He's passed away now. His name was Bill Cedar. And when I was in high school, he had just retired, and he was fishing 5 days a week. He was probably the best fisherman I've ever known that never tournament fished. He just fished for the pure love of fishing, and he took me under his wing, and I'd go out with him. I'd skip school every now and then, or just go with him on the weekends, and he would teach me so much about how to catch bass. My dad and my mom were both in education. They both taught for a living. And so they placed a high value on me getting a good college education before I pursued my dream of being a professional bass fisherman. So going into my freshman year of college, my dad, being the educator that he was, he made a deal with me. He made me sell my boat after high school, which I was really disappointed about, but he told me if I could maintain a 3.0 GPA or better my freshman year of college, that I could work all summer and get another boat to have the remainder of my college education. So that's what I did. My freshman year, I had a 3.5 GPA at Oregon State, and went out that summer, worked hard, made enough money to buy a small aluminum boat. And I have to say that my GPA didn't stay up there that high. That was probably the peak of my GPA for my college education, but I did graduate in 4 years. Right after I graduated in June of 1987, I went straight down to Lake Mead for the U.S. Open. And the U.S. Open at that time was like one of the biggest tournaments in the nation. And all the big names were there, all of them. The first day of the tournament, I was leading the tournament, and then I ended up in 6th place in that tournament. And right then I knew that I had what it took to be able to make a living as a professional bass fisherman. If I could go down there and compete with those guys right out of the box, right out of college. And so that was a big turning point for me in my confidence, for sure. Yes! So as much as I love to fish, you know, that's not the most important thing to me in my life. The most important thing is my family. You know, I realized one thing early on, that no matter how much I achieved in fishing or how many tournaments I won or how much success I had, if I didn't have anybody to share that with, what good is it? The Lord's blessed me with a great family. I have my wife, we've been married 22 years. I've got 2 girls that are in high school now. I can't believe my oldest is a senior this year. Man, it just flies by. And of course my mom and dad, and my dad's, he's passed away a couple years ago. But one of the biggest thrills for me was when my mom and dad got to share in my winning the Classic and winning my Angler of the Year titles and winning that SB award. And they were my biggest fans, and we got to, you know, celebrate together and share in those victories. That was pretty special to be able to share that with my mom and dad. In my downtime, I like coaching my kids in sports. I have coached basketball, and softball is my favorite. My girls both play softball, and I love doing that. And my family's just so important. They're everything to me. I love the challenge of today of not only being the best fisherman I can be, but being the best dad that I can be to my kids. It's one of the things I really strive to do.